The Battle of Bosworth Field stands as a pivotal moment in English history, taking place on August 22, 1485. This engagement marked the culmination of the Wars of the Roses, a decades-long struggle for supremacy between the rival factions of the Plantagenets, the Lancastrians, and the Yorkists. On that fateful day, King Richard III, the last Plantagenet monarch, confronted Henry Tudor, a descendant of the Lancastrian line, on the battlefield. Richard's defeat and death marked not only the end of his reign, but also the termination of the Plantagenet dynasty, which had ruled England for over 3 centuries. Henry Tudor emerged victorious, becoming Henry VII, and founded the Tudor dynasty, which would significantly shape England's trajectory. His reign saw the establishment of a new era characterized by centralization of power, diplomacy, and the pursuit of alliances to consolidate his position. The battle's outcome facilitated the transition from the medieval period to the early modern era and paved the way for a series of Tudor monarchs, including Henry VIII and Elizabeth I. The year 1642 saw the ignition of a bitter and transformative conflict, the English Civil War. On August 22nd, King Charles I raised his royal standard in Nottingham, a symbolic gesture signaling his open challenge to Parliament's authority. This marked the official commencement of a struggle between royalist supporters, known as Cavaliers, and the parliamentary forces, known as Roundheads. The war stemmed from deep-rooted disputes over power, governance, taxation, and religious practices. Charles I's absolutist tendencies clashed with Parliament's demands for more influence and power sharing. The war's eventual outcome led to profound consequences, including the temporary abolition of the monarchy, the rise of Oliver Cromwell and the Commonwealth, and the eventual restoration of the monarchy under Charles II. The conflict's legacy echoed in constitutional changes, the questioning of divine right monarchy, and the development of modern political thought. In 1711, during the War of the Spanish Succession, the British embarked on a military expedition with the ambitious goal of capturing Quebec from the French. The campaign was part of a broader European conflict for supremacy, and its failure had significant ramifications. On August 22nd, as part of this expedition, a maritime disaster occurred when rocks at Point aux Anglais claimed 8 British ships, along with the lives of hundreds of soldiers, sailors, and civilians. This disastrous setback severely compromised the British military effort in North America, hampering their ability to make strategic gains. The failed expedition highlighted the challenges of conducting overseas campaigns in unfamiliar and demanding environments, particularly in the context of 18th century naval warfare. The event underscores the complexities of military operations, logistical challenges, and the impact of unforeseen natural obstacles on the course of historical events. The signing of the First Geneva Convention in 1864 represented a groundbreaking milestone in the development of international humanitarian law. Convened amid the backdrop of the horrors of the Crimean War and proposed by Swiss businessman Henry Dunant, this convention established a set of principles governing the treatment of wounded soldiers, medical personnel, and facilities during times of armed conflict. Central to the convention was the concept of neutrality and the obligation to provide care for the wounded without discrimination. The convention's adoption marked a shift in international consciousness, emphasizing the need to alleviate the suffering of those affected by war and promoting the idea that, even amidst conflict, humanity must be preserved. This landmark agreement laid the foundation for subsequent Geneva Conventions and protocols, shaping the modern framework for the rights and protections of individuals caught in the midst of armed conflicts. The commencement of the Siege of Leningrad in 1941 heralded one of the most tragic and enduring episodes of World War II. German forces, having advanced deep into Soviet territory, laid siege to the city of Leningrad, now St. Petersburg. Lasting for nearly 900 days, this brutal blockade subjected the city's inhabitants to a harrowing existence characterized by constant bombardment, extreme scarcity of food and resources, and a staggering loss of life. The siege stands as a testament to the resilience and strength of the civilian population in the face of unimaginable adversity. Despite the dire circumstances, Leningrad's residents displayed incredible solidarity and endurance, maintaining cultural and intellectual pursuits amid the suffering. The siege's eventual lifting in 1944 marked a turning point in the war's Eastern Front, but the city bore the scars of this traumatic experience for generations. The memory of the siege remains a symbol of human endurance and a solemn reminder of the horrors of war. In 1972, the International Olympic Committee made a decisive and symbolic move by expelling Rhodesia from the Olympic Games due to its apartheid policies. This action exemplified the broader global stance against racial segregation and discrimination, echoing the international community's growing rejection of apartheid practices. The expulsion from the Olympics had far-reaching implications, transcending sports and highlighting the power of international pressure in addressing systemic injustices. By isolating Rhodesia in the realm of sports, the IOC underscored the principles of equality, non-discrimination, and human rights that underpin the Olympic spirit. The decision played a part in the broader global effort to delegitimize apartheid regimes and contributed to the eventual dismantling of the oppressive system in the years that followed. The episode serves as a reminder of the role that international institutions can play in advancing principles of justice and equality on a global scale.